Hello, I'm Tiffany Lewis, and today in the Cobb TV studio we have Chairman Mike Boyce with us. Welcome, Chairman.
Thanks, Tiffany. It's good to be back.
It's hard to believe that we're less than 2 weeks away from the opening of SunTrust Park, opening day, but we had a little bit of a test run this past Friday with the exhibition game, so tell us more about that.
Well, first of all, we had fantastic weather. And second of all, I think that all the concerns that people had about whether or not we'd be done on time with all the traffic management, construction and projects, plus the construction of the stadium would be done on time. And I think that we showed last week that the county put its best foot forward. It was a true partnership between the Braves and the county. We, on our part, not only did built the projects that we said we were going to build, but we also performed the inspections and certifications in a timely manner so they could open on time. So it was a good news story all the way around. Were there some things that had to be tweaked? Of course there are. You know, people arrived over 3 or 4 hours to go and look at the new stadium and get a chance to get a peek at Battery Park. And then many of them when they left, they all wanted to go home in 15 minutes. Yeah. And the road structure there doesn't accommodate that kind of a timeline. So we're going to be tweaking some positions where we have our public safety to help direct traffic. We also, the bridge across 285 will be opened on April 14th. And that'll take some of the traffic burden pressure off inside the 75-285 area across the 285. And then again, I'm telling people that you can buy where you want to park your car online when you buy your ticket. If you want to hang around after the game is over and stay with some friends or go to the Battery Park as it slowly opens more restaurants and stores, then park near the stadium. Mm-hmm. But if you're in a little bit more of a hurry to get home, then I'd recommend you park somewhere away from the stadium. You may be a little bit longer walk, you may have to take the shuttle, but you'll get home probably faster because the traffic parking's spread out.
Wonderful. Well, I'll admit I went to the exhibition game, and with the collapse on 85 and spring break starting, I was a little bit nervous about traffic and how that was going to be. And I actually live not that far from the stadium, but I must say we came around game time and it was smooth sailing. I mean, we were looking for traffic and there was none to be found. We actually took Uber, and it was a really great experience. So I know the Braves are encouraging people to get online. People can go to braves.com/transportation. They can buy their tickets to the game ahead of time. They can buy their parking ahead of time. They can figure out where the parking lots are. So they really can plan their trip, plan for traffic. So that's a great thing. And I know we have the great map up here that kind of shows people all the different parking options and ways to get to the stadium.
Yeah, I would emphasize, once again, do your homework before you come to the game, see where you want to go. And the second thing, you brought up a good point though, is that this was just a soft opening. Now on April 14th, we'll have, this is a sellout. So it'll be 41,000 people coming to the game, and that means there's a lot more cars. So again, we're going to be testing it again this weekend with the Missouri-Georgia game, and trying to see those tweaks that we did after the Braves-Yankee game, see if those worked. But by the 14th, we should be in full play and ready to go and show everybody it's a great experience.
That's great. Well, I know one of your other top priorities beginning your tenure is the Parks Bond, the voter-approved Parks Bond. And the BOC has already approved the bond, but at our next Board of Commissioners meeting, we'll be taking the next step. Tell us about that.
Right, now is the time to go ahead and get the board to approve the funding of the bond. We, in principle, voted to do the bond. Now we've got to fund the bond. And we've gone, of course, to our bonding source, and they've come back with a contract, and so that'll be given to us next week. And the reason we want to do that is that we are at the very close to being the very end of the appraisals of all the properties that are on the parks list, and we want to be able to buy those properties as soon as the owners come back and tell us they agree to our negotiated price. So it's all, there's a process to this. It all involves the board. And I think right now that we're very close that sometime by May, we'll have selected the properties, we'll purchase them, and we'll start to, going again to open up more green space in Cobb County, which is what this is all about.
Excellent. So the steps after the fund is approved, the funding source is approved, what would be the next step?
First, we've got to get all the appraisals in from all the properties that are on the list. And then the board has to, and then they have to go back and negotiate with the property owners on what our offered price is, And I just want to emphasize to people is that, this is private property. So we are obviously a government, and we're very, very careful about spending taxpayers' money. And we're going to offer them what we think we can offer them, all right? I mean, we may be able to match their price, we may not be able to. But they're the ones that are the final choice. So if there are properties on that property list and the owners decide not to sell to us, then we really have no control over that. But I'm optimistic that those properties are going to be acquired by the county. All the property owners know that that they're on the list, and now they're just waiting for us to do our thing to negotiate with them. So, as always, the glass is either half empty or half full, and right now I think this glass is half full, and I'm confident that in May we're going to have some really nice news about what properties we're going to buy for Cobb County.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us, Chairman, and sharing all this vital information, and we'll see you next week.
All right, and remember, there's a board meeting Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, and everybody can come or else watch us on Cobb Television or watch us stream or, send your emails to us if you have any questions.
Wonderful.
So it's good to be here again, Tiffany. Thank you for having me.
Great for having you.
You're welcome.